Political and social, Guinness Book of World Records, 1990. The world comprises of 170 sovereign countries. How many sovereign countries? 170. 170 sovereign countries. 63 separately administered non-sovereign or other territories, making a total 233. 233 countries, 170 sovereign countries, 63 separately administered non-sovereign or other territories. So what do we got? 233, 170, somewhere around there. The United Nations still lists the de jure territories of East Timor, now incorporated into Indonesia, Western Sahara, now in Morocco, the former mandated territory of Palestine, and uninhabited Canton and Inderbury Islands, now disputed between the USA and Kiribati, but does not list the three Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, though their forcible incorporation into the USSR in 1940 has never been internationally recognized. Neither does it list the de facto territories of Taiwan, Mayotte or Spanish North America, the four Antarctic territories, or the Australian territory of Coral Sea Islands and Heard and McDonald Islands, the USA's renunciation of the Pacific Islands trusteeship on November 3rd, 1986 is resulting in the creation of Micronesia, Marshall Islands, Northern Mariana Islands, and Palau as separate entities. Largest, the country with the greatest area is the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. The Soviet Union comprising of 15 Union constituent republics with a total area of 22 million kilometers squared, or 8.7 miles squared, or 15% of the world's total land area. Total coastline of the United Kingdom, the smallest independent country in the world, is the state of the Vatican City or Holy Sees, Stato della Cittadella Vaticaniolo, which is made an enclave within the city of Rome, Italy, on February 11th, 1929. It's got an area of 108 acres, 109 acres. That's a country. 109 acres is a country. Largest political division, the British Commonwealth of Nations, a free association of 48 sovereign independent states together with 17 non-sovereign states and dependencies administered by them, covers an area of 21 million kilometers square, 10.4 miles square, with a population estimated in 1988 to be 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion. Fiji declared itself a republic October 1st, 1987, also severed links. The British Empire began to expand when Henry VII patented trade monopolies to John Cabot in March 1496, and when the East India Company was incorporated on December 31st, 1600. East India Company incorporated December 31st, 1600. December 31st. That's today, 2022, the last day of the year. The smallest colony in the world is Gibraltar, the city of Gibraltar, since 1969, with an area of 5.8 kilometers squared, or 2.5 miles squared. However, Pitcairn Island, the only inhabited 59 people as of January 1st, 1987, island of a group of four. Total area 48 kilometers squared, 18.5 miles squared, has an area of 960 acres, 1.5 miles squared. It was named after midshipman Robert Pitcairn of HMS Swallow, July 1767. Since 1834, of the Grand Master of the Order of the Knights of Malta, the official residence totaling 1 to 2, 3 acres, and comprising the Villa del flattest and most elevated, the Republic of Maldives. The country with the lowest point is Lesotho. The country with the highest point is the Republic of the Maldives, 8 foot versus 30 feet. 4,530 feet above sea level. The egress of the Senqui Orange Riverbed is 1381 meters, 4530 feet above sea level. The most impenetrable boundary is the Iron Curtain. The Iron Curtain dividing the Federal Republic of Germany and German Democratic Republic, the East and West. Longest and shortest frontier. The longest continuous frontier in the world is that between Canada and the United States, which, including the Great Lakes boundaries, extends for 6,416 kilometers, about 4,000 miles, excluding 1,500 miles with Alaska. The frontier, which is crossed most frequently, they don't even count that. So the longest continuous frontier. The frontier which is crossed most frequently is that between the U.S. and Mexico. It extends 1933 miles, and there are more than 120 million crossings every year. The Sino-Soviet frontier, broken by the Sino-Mongolian border, extends for 4,500 miles. Most frontiers, China has the most land frontiers with 13. Mongolia, USSR, Kentucky border 7, Tennessee borders 8. Mongolia, USSR, North Korea, Hong Kong, Macau, Vietnam, Laos, Burma, India, Bhutan, Nepal, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Populations. The daily increase in the world's population is 223,285, or 155 per minute. Matej Gasper, born July 11th, 1987 in Yugoslavia, was symbolically named the world's 5 billionth inhabitant by the UN Secretary General. Matej Gasper in Zagreb, Yugoslavia, he was symbolically named the 5th billionth person born on the planet. After visiting the baby in the hospital, this is the Secretary General of the UN, Javier Perez de Celular. He gave a speech hailing scientific and economic progress, enabled the world to accommodate its rapidly growing masses. However, he also called for the implementation of family planning programs and for a determined attack on poverty. Interesting. It's predicted that without such measures, the population will double during the next century. Family planning programs? Okay, just plan out your families, right? Planned Parenthood, that makes sense. And a determined attack on poverty. A determined attack on poverty. So, give people better lives, they won't have more kids. Is that what they're trying to say? Most densely populated Portuguese province of Macau, the southern coast of China. Most sparsely populated Antarctica. Apart from Antarctica is formerly Greenland, Kalalit Nunat. Lowest population densities in the United Kingdom are in the Highlands and Islands of Scotland. Most sparsely populated in England is Northumberland. I like Northumberland. I like Northumbria. Immigration. The country which regularly receives the most legal immigrants is the United States. It's estimated that between 1820 and 1985, the U.S. received 52.5 million official immigrants. 1 in 24 the U.S. population is, however, an illegal immigrant. 1 in 24. In 1986, 629,000 aliens were arrested by U.S. patrol on the Mexican border. The peak year for immigration into the United Kingdom was the 12 months from July 1st, 1961 to June 30th, 1962, when about 430,000 Commonwealth citizens arrived. The number of immigrants in the year 1987 was 45,500. The estimated total of non-whites for Great Britain was 2.4 million, or 4.5% of the population. Biggest demonstration, 2.7 million, published from China for the demonstration against the USSR in Shanghai, April 3rd to the 4th, 1969, following the border clashes. China v. USSR, 1969. Most patient refusnik, the USSR citizen who waited longest for an exit visa, was Benjamin Bogomolny. April 7th, 1946, he was born. He applied in 1966 and arrived in Vienna October 14th, 1986, 20 years later. tourism. Let's see, Vladimir Slepak birth rate. The rate for the whole world was 28 per 1,000 in 1987. Damn, that's fascinating. Out of 1,000 people, 28 gave birth. The highest estimated by the UN is 55.1 per 1,000 for Kenya in 1980 to 1985. Worldwide survey published in 1985 showed no country with a rising birth rate, the last being Nepal. Excluding Vatican City, where the rate is negligible, the lowest recorded rate is 9.3 per 1,000, 1985 for San Marino. Let's see, the death rate for the whole world was 10 per 1,000 in 1987. So we have 28 births per 1,000 and 10 deaths. So we're having more births than deaths. Natural increase, the rate of natural increase for the whole world is estimated to be 28 minus 10, right? Which is what I just said, 18 per 1,000. Except for Kenya. Marriage, joke. The marriage age is the lowest average age for marriage is India with 20 years males and 14 and a half years for females. What the fuck? That's an average? At the other extreme is Ireland. 26.8 males and 24.7 females. I like that a lot better. 27 and 25-year-olds getting together. Yeah, that's better in Ireland. It's better in Ireland. Marriages than India. What the fuck is going on in India? In the mid-16th century, the average age for first marriages by women in England was 26.7 years. In the People's Republic of China, the recommended age for marriage for men has been 28, and for women, 25 in England and Wales, the average model age. Divorces, the country with the most divorces is the United States, with a total of 1.157 million in 1987. USA! The all-time high rate was 49.75% in 1981. In 1986, some 2% of all existing marriages in the USA broke up. In the UK, more than 1 in 7 marriages end in divorce before a 5th anniversary. By 1985, 13% of families had one parent. Sex ratio, there was an estimated in 1981 to be 1,006.7 males in the world for every 1,000 females. Damn, more men than females. Infant mortality, the world rate in 1987 was 80 per 1,000 live births. Expectation of life at birth. World expectation of life is rising from 47.4 years towards 64 and a half years. There's evidence that life expectation in Britain in the 5th century AD was 33 for males, 27 for females. Worst disasters in the world. In terms of numbers killed, you got, let's see, pandemic and genocide, famine, influenza. They're saying pandemic is killing more. Genocide's killing a lot. Famine and influenza, that would be the top 3 because they're double-digit millions, but 75, 35, 30, and then the next one's earthquake. This is just 1 million. Circular storms, earthquake, floods. The Black Death. A lot of people died of the Black Death. The Challenger. Oh, it looks like it corresponds straight across. So they're saying the biggest one in these categories. So the Black Death killed 75 million. Genocide was the Mongol extermination of the Chinese peasantry. No shit. 35 million. I thought Mao killed more. This is 1990. Didn't Mao kill a whole bunch of... 40 million I thought Stalin killed. But they're saying the Mongolians killed more Chinese peasantry, and that was in the 1300s. Atomic bomb. Guess there's 2 of them, right? Nagasaki and Hiroshima. There was more killed in Hiroshima, 155,200. It was August 6, 1945. Conventional bombing. Tokyo, Japan. That was almost as many, 140,000. So 155,000 versus 140,000. That was March 10th, 1945. Same year, just a couple months earlier. Worst volcanic eruption. Indonesia, avalanches in Peru, Marine single ship, 7,700, the Wilhelm Gustloff, German liner torpedoed off of Danzig by USS submarine S-13, 903 survivors. How many people was in this submarine? God damn, it was like 8,000, 9,000 people. Mass suicide 913. Who do you think wins with mass suicide? The People's Temple cult by cyanide, Jonestown, Guyana. November 18th, 1978. Crocodiles 900 Japanese soldiers, Ramri, Burma. It's disputed though. Railway, fireworks 800. The Dolphins' wedding, in Paris, May 16th, 1770. Terrorism, 329. Bomb aboard Air India Boeing 747 crashed into the Atlantic southwest of Ireland. Sikh extremist suspected. See, hail, submarine, helicopter. Israel, 54. Military Sea Stallion, West Bank. Mountaineering, nuclear reactor, elevator, yacht racing, 19. Yacht racing. Lightning, 21. Space exploration, 7. U.S. Challenger. The Space Shuttle Cape Canaveral, January 28th, 1986. Let's see, any of the other ones? Panic, 4,000 died in a panic, China, 1941. Smog, industrial tunneling, explosion, fire, single building. The theater in China, explosion is Canada, December 6, 1917, Halifax. Mining tornado riot, 1,200 killed in the New York anti-conscription riots. Wow, July 13th to the 16th, 1863. That's against my man Lincoln. Poor Abraham Lincoln, the anti-conscription riots. It was a draft. 1,200 are going to get killed in that shit. There's a movie made about that. Road 1,100, mass suicide, crocodiles. So, the oldest known walled town in the world is Ariha, aka Jericho. Alright, we'll come back. There's a couple more here, but 1990, that was a doozy of a year, huh?